as a quarterbacks coach, Coach Scangarello. So go ahead and open questions.
Any questions?
Obviously, you spent some time here very early in your career, and now it's kind of a full circle moment to be back. You know, how cool is it to be back in the building, and how have things changed going from Oakland to Vegas, in your opinion?
I feel very fortunate to be back. It's, I mean, from top to bottom, I think the organization's in a great place. The facility they built here is as good as anyone in the league. The town, the city, living here, it's just, you know, I've been in Vegas now for a little over a year actually, but just the people behind me, you can feel the vibe. You know, the community's always rallying around it, and I just feel like the where we're at and where we're headed, and the leadership and all that together. Just the overall mentality of everyone involved. I think it's a good spot and a healthy spot, and has a chance to be really special.
Coach, I know it's early on, only a couple weeks OTAs, but what are your impressions of Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell so far from practice?
I've been very pleased. I mean, it's competitive. They're both incredible, good personalities. They balance each other well. They're different how they approach it. They're different how they play, but their mindsets are similar. They're bringing out the best in each other. We're throwing a lot at them. They've handled it well. But I feel like we got great opportunities for one of these guys to lead us to do some great things. I think that both of them are capable. And the style of play is probably a little different in each, but it's exciting, and they both bring a lot to the table.
You talk about both of them, but Aiden O'Connell specifically, what have you seen kind of him in terms of just being in the building, being around, and what he's trying to do between year 1 and 2?
You know, just watching afar last year, I was incredibly impressed with how he handled the situation. Both the quarterbacks in the room with him last year, I had prior, you know, friendships, relationships with, and they were extremely impressed with him. So, as I've seen him up close, I just feel like the individual is everything you'd hoped he'd be. He's just got a lot of internal drive, discipline, how he sees the game the right way. He wants to be great. He'll work at it. He's selfless, and he has a great deal of respect among the teammates, the coaching staff, and everyone in the building. So I think to do that as a rookie, thrown into how he was, I give him a lot of credit, and it says a lot about the individual. And that gives, without that, it's tough to be successful in this league, definitely to be great at the position. So that's exciting to work with.
Coach, you've been in situations where there was a defiant starter this time of year, and the job was to get him and the backups ready for the season. That's still the case this year, but then there's also the component of deciding who that starter is going to be among the candidates. So how do you go about balancing both preparing somebody for the season, but then also making a decision on who's going to be the leader of this team?
Yeah, it's tricky because there's one other element. You know, the defense has been here, and there's some continuity in that respect, and we're putting in a new offense. But I think it's a credit to Luke, the flexibility, the offense ability to adapt to the type of player you have. So we got to put those guys in a position to do what we think that they can do for us well. But on top of that, let them compete equally and see who emerges. That competition always brings out the best. There's enough reps to go around. Obviously, you'd always like to have one guy established, but I don't think it will linger. I think someone will emerge. And it's exciting. Like, I think it's a good problem to have. I think it's healthy, it's positive, and I think that the cupboard's not bare here. There's some really good football players. There's a great mentality. So they have to do their part. We have to let others around them be the best versions of themselves, and we got to max ourselves out. And I think there's a clear path to that, and I think that they're on track, and I'm excited about it.
Coach, you were talking about how they have the same mentality each day, but they have different skill sets, different personalities. Just from your point of view, what do you think are the biggest strengths in each one of these quarterbacks' game?
Yeah, I mean, look, talking about Gardner, like, I've always had a great deal of respect for him in the league. You know, he coming out, I had some familiarity with him, and I liked him as one of my top guys as an undrafted late pick. Like, I have a great deal of respect for those types of individuals that make it in this league. They have incredible moxie and just like baller in them, you know, and he takes that when you're not 6'4", or have the biggest arm. You have to have the mindset and the grit. He's made of that stuff, and so that's an important element to your team in any capacity. So that's exciting to see that happen with Gardner, you know, and yeah, so overall, man, the group themselves, both of them, like, I'm excited how they're playing off each other, and I just think they're going to make each other better.
Coach, do you think, you know, maybe something a little overlooked with Aiden is his arm strength, is his arm talent, that maybe a little undervalued in those areas, too much focus on mobility and maybe the things he's not blessed with, and maybe it's overlooked his arm talent?
Yeah, from what I've seen, he's exceptionally accurate. Like I don't say that lightly. Like everyone has traits and there are strengths and weaknesses to every quarterback in this league, but he throws the ball where he needs it to go at a very high level. So that's exciting. It's important in this system. And as far as the mobility and who's the guy and all that's the beauty of this system. It has flexibility to fit the personnel. That's whether it's your skill players, your line, or more importantly, your quarterback type of play. So I think that I'm excited about his arm talent. I think he throws the ball very well, and he can push the ball down the field. And you know, the guys like that have been in this offense, the Kirk Cousins type players and things like that, have done exceptionally well. And I think that he has those kinds of traits. So excited to see if we can bring out that version of him.
The thing he did so well down the stretch, I think, according to most people, is protect the football and take care of it, which is obviously a main job for a quarterback. But so much talk around this team has been trying to increase the explosives, get the ball downfield. How do you continue to protect the football, manage the game in that way, but also increase the explosive play?
Well, it helps when, in my opinion, I love having great tight ends to do that. And I say that, my experience and Luke's experience, we're kind of similar paths and beliefs. That's why I'm excited to work with him, being around him. I've heard this from a lot of people in the league. He's one of the best minds I've been around. He's a very good teacher. So he knows how to bring out the best in guys. My experience, like in San Francisco, is you have these guys that are these critical chess pieces, like Juiced 44 and Kittle, and these guys that you move around, and they're chess pieces to create matchups, one-on-ones for both them and your wideouts, and to be aggressive running the ball and being able to attack people aggressively with explosives off of that and be dominant on the first and second down. And I think that that's been San Francisco. That's the experience Luke had in Green Bay. And you look at the teams at the top that do that well, the Green Bays, the Niners, the Rams, they're our family. And I think that we have an opportunity to try and build something like that. It won't be easy, there'll be bumps in the road, but I think we can trend that way with the types of players we have and make it come alive.
You said earlier you've been around in Vegas before you took this job. I guess
Yeah.
what brought you to Vegas?
I took last year off, recharged my batteries, and it was a great experience. Honestly, I needed it. I have a number of friends out here, so I kind of enjoyed being out here in a group. I'm a West Coast guy, and so it became my home. I experienced the Knights last year. It was phenomenal, and now it's our opportunity to do something similar.
All right, you guys all set? Cool, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.